After you've created that compelling content, and what do I mean by compelling content? Content with an image that captures the eye, with a headline that captures attention, and with text that compels people to click through. There's a lot of information in a user's feed, and you have to provide them something they can't get anywhere else. Posting how the waves were this morning or that your latte didn't have enough sugar in it, probably not what people are going to want to see on LinkedIn. But if your company has a new report out or a new piece of content that you're using for marketing, placing part of it on LinkedIn and then compelling people to click to one of your other properties is a great way to drive traffic. So the first step to sponsoring any update is creating a compelling piece of content. Once you've done that, from your back end, you want to click on Business Services and then Advertise. LinkedIn will make you put in a password again, but I already did that, so we don't see it. Right here, you clicked on Get Started, and you're taken to a choice. Do you want to create a PPC ad, or do you want to create a piece of sponsored content? For our first marketing campaign with LinkedIn, we're going to create a piece of sponsored content. So we'll name this campaign Test 1. And we're only putting in a name because it will show up in the analytics. And then if you manage more than one company page, you would select which company you're advertising for right here. I only manage one page. Then you have to choose a piece of content that you've already created to sponsor. For example, we had a compelling piece here. Twitter didn't used to give Google access to its data stream, so tweets didn't show up in search engine results pages. But now they do. And that's an important thing for marketers to know. So we'll choose that because we want to show people we know what we're talking about. This is an important topic. They show us at the bottom of the page a preview of how the update will appear on desktop, how it looks on a smartphone, and how it may look on a tablet. So for example, if the image that you chose isn't very compelling in a certain format, you can go back and update to have a more compelling image to drive more click-throughs. Once you're happy with the way the content looks, you click Next, and this is where you do your very comprehensive targeting. This is where you set your budget. As you see, if you use the default settings, you're going to be advertising to about 347 million LinkedIn members. From experience, with a budget of $10, you will spend that budget in about 30 seconds. So you need to narrow down who you're marketing to. And as we mentioned before, one of the great things about LinkedIn is how granularly you're able to target. You can target to any geographic location. So for our example, we'll use North America and specifically the United States. You'll notice that over here, the potential audience for our campaign is updating as we select. So if we go as granular as Alabama, we're only going to be advertising to about 3,918,000 LinkedIn members. So we'll remove Alabama and we'll just say United States, leaving our pool at about 123 million people. That's still pretty large. They're probably not all going to want my products and services. What you're also allowed to do is target by a specific company. You can actually enter names of a company that you want to target. So if you had a product that appealed to people who work at Apple, you could enter Apple here, and they will tell you how many people there are who identify themselves as employees of Apple on LinkedIn and how many people you would be advertising to. This number updates as you restrict your campaign. You can also restrict by category, industry, and company size. So if I'm a plumber, I don't want to advertise to other plumbers. So I can put in an exception in this box here and say services, individual and family services. So you can't get as granular as, don't advertise to plumbers, but you can say don't advertise to a certain company. And as you see, our number counts of how big our campaign is going to range are going down as we update. The other nice way that you can granularly advertise is you can say, hey, I only want to show this ad to CEOs. Or I want to show this ad to CEOs and CFOs. Okay. And as you see, the number of CEOs and CFOs in the individual and family services industry in the United States who are on LinkedIn is about 7,451 members. So you can get very, very, very granular. There's actually even more targeting options. You can target to individual schools and universities. You can leave individual schools and universities out. You can target by field of study, so you can only advertise to marketing majors or only business majors. You can do it by degree, so only people who have a master's degree or only people who have no further education. By skill, by group, by gender, by age. No other marketing network provides this level of granularity because no other network provides this level of marketing targeting because no other network allows people to give up so much information about themselves. Once you've set all those values, and that's going to vary based on what your needs and industry are, you click next, and this is where you set your budget. Now that you've got a piece of awesome, compelling content that's going to drive clicks and leads, it's time to determine your budget.